Yeah.
But welcome, Nikole Myers. How are you?
Hi, thank you. Thank you, Leah. I am wonderful. As you said, yeah, you don't have to be a mom. We have moms of fur babies, and if we're not a mom, we have a mom. So
Right. Yeah, we
we're
always
very
mom to
grateful.
somebody. It doesn't have to be our kids.
Right.
I know.
Our other half sometimes.
Yes, yes. So, yeah, today we're gonna have Nicole here, and we can't wait to get into the program. And I know it's 5:02, so we're gonna kick off with Sarah. Hey,
Yay!
Sarah. Yes,
Yay! Don't we want to record?
yes, we do. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everybody. It's so good to be back and um, good to talk with you again. And for all of you that are new that didn't know me, I'm Sarah M. I from Cambodia. I grew up there, and unfortunately, my country went through a horrific experience in the 70s. That's when the Khmer Rouge communists took over our country, and they basically destroyed our country and destroyed our life. About 2 million people die. That's about a quarter of population of
Horrible.
Cambodia. So, as a survivor, I'm a survivor. I'm here, to tell you if if anybody need to know the story. I have it on my book, How I Survived the Killing Fields. It's available on my website, crm.com. And I also go out to speak to share this. But I just want to tell you this: with courage, with determination, I made it through. And I'm sure it will help you too if you grab on to that courage, to that determination, and keep pursuing for your life. Back to you, Lee.
Yes. This week we are continuing on with the theme of courage and determination. I think that those are most two favorite words from Sarah and I because we have actually lived through that. And not that saying that we are courage, but everybody who get through their surviving mode are the courageous one, the courageous one. So my name is Lea Tran. If you're new, welcome to our group. And if you're not, I hope you stick around because today's we're going to have some really wonderful chat about wonderful topics. So, like I said, my name is Lea Tran. I am a former refugee from Vietnam. We fled the country in 1979. My family and I, with along with 495 other people, fled out to the sea and the ocean to seek for freedom. And knowing that we might not survive crossing that ocean, but courage pushed us because we wanted so bad. We wanted freedom so bad that we pushed through. So 40 years later, I finally have the courage again to tell the story. And I wrote my story on my memoir. It's called I Did Not Miss the Boat because that boat meant so much to us. And I didn't want anyone to miss their own opportunity. Don't miss your boat because even adversity can give you a lot of opportunity if and only if you take risk and you tap onto that courage and keep doing it. I also am a speaker and I'm also a coach, a holistic coach, a transformation coach that help you push your courage and break that mold and tell that story and break the silence and move forward. But today we have Nikole Myers who's going to tell us about her courage, what she faced and what she went through. And I'm going to let Sarah read a little bit of her bio. And then we're going to ask Nikole to tell us a little bit more about her story. And then it's time for questions. Go ahead,
Okay,
Sarah.
sure. Yes, it's my pleasure to welcome Nikole Myers. I know Nikole for a couple years, and she's a sweetheart. And she is a wife to an amazing man and a mother of two grown, wonderful children. She recently had something happen in her life that caused her to seek out an alternative to pharmaceuticals. She came to realization that she had an amazing opportunity to share her story with others, to truly help them with their health and wellness. She loves to educate others on the value of the true organic option that can seriously change their life. Nikole is the business owner for the past 20 years in another industry. So when this opportunity came into her life, she did not have the time, nor did she need the money. She couldn't deny that it literally saved her life and made it a priority in her life so she can help others. She still ran the other business, but took the leap to take up a side hustle, so to speak. Now, knowing where it would lead her, she had been determined, that's the word determination, to share with as many people as she can in the hope to truly making a difference in the world. So welcome, Nikole. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
That was a great bio. So, Nikole, I know that we have not mentioned the magic word. So, would you like to tell us a little bit more about exactly who you are and what topic are we going to talk about?
Yes, today we are talking about the hottest buzzword out in the world today, CBD.
Woohoo!
Yes. I don't want to get really into, the background of the company. I really wanted to come on here and share my story because I was in a car accident. My daughter's going to be 25 this year. She was an infant. So I was heavily reliant upon doctors and medicine, modern medicine. I didn't even know this existed. So the past almost 25 years, I was taking 6 different pharmaceuticals 4 times a day. And we don't have healthcare in the United States. We have sick care. They keep us sick because that's how they're making their money. Let's face it, everybody's got to make a dollar to survive. So and I entered a new stage of life, becoming a older, seasoned woman, and menopause became part of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is something, I mean, I almost felt like it was taboo in a way because it was something we never talked about at home. I was never educated on. I had no clue what to expect. So it kind of just hit me by surprise. So when the doctor said I'm just premenopausal, and then I had to deal with all kinds of issues, possibly for up to the next 10 years. And then they wanted to give me more medicine. So that's when I had put up the stop sign and I started looking for other options in my life. I knew that the pharmaceuticals obviously were not, I don't have an ibuprofen system. So why am I taking ibuprofen? I knew I needed to seek out other options. So as Sarah mentioned, I do have another business that my husband and I have been running successfully for 20 years. Totally not in this industry. Totally opposite of the industry. We kill bugs for a living. So when this came into my world and the news that they wanted more medicines, or actually they wanted to give me, my options were more medicine or medical marijuana. Those were my 2 options, according to my doctor. Now, when that was presented to me, running a business, I can't function on medical marijuana. I don't choose to. That's not what I wanted to do. So I started looking, and somebody introduced me to CBD, and I started doing a little research. And I did decide to go into the business with her, with this company. And I bought the kit. You know, it's a sales job. And I said, okay, well, Sarah said, I really don't have the time. We didn't need the money. And I figured I would get everything at a discount price, just use it, and then just keep using it. I was good with that. So after I started using the product, I was literally shocked. It blew me away how well it worked and how much it changed my life. I've put my animals on it. My husband is a beneficiary of using it as well. Our daughter, our children. So when it changed my life, I knew that I know God has a plan for everybody. That's my true belief. But when I noticed how much it affected my life in an organic way, I was going to share it with anybody and anybody who would listen to me. I wanted to get the word out to everybody that I could think of, because I do say it saved my life. Because had I continued going down the road of pharmaceuticals, I would have been worse off. I mean, that's just the name of the game when it comes to synthetic medicine. So for me, I can sit here with confidence and say it saved my life. I have an organic option. I don't take pharmaceutical meds. There is a time and a place, I believe, for that. But in my life, it's just not part of my life anymore. And I'm doing it organically and naturally.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's just so much to uncover here. Would you tell our audience exactly what kind of symptoms and what kind of difficulty that you had, and what is this CBD oil or medicine, or what is it? How does it do? How does it help? And what changed it around in your life that you believe it so much?
The symptoms I was dealing with, obviously from the pain from the accident, I was on medicine for chronic pain, anxiety, stress, sleep,
And that
muscle.
can be addicting too, all those painkillers.
Huge. The opioids, the narcotics, the I mean, everything. I know it was wreaking havoc in my system.
Okay.
But it is something that my brain told me that, okay, the pain's not there, but the pain was still there. My brain just didn't see it. It was that mask of the pain meds. So you've got the sleep, you've got inflammation, and everything just came to a head when I hit that premenopausal age.
Oh God,
The,
how fun.
the golden season.
There's a lot of things that people don't think of, and then boom, it hit you, and it's like you couldn't figure it out. What the heck is wrong? Why, why I have been doing the same thing all my life, and now something like you couldn't, insomnia is the biggest thing for me. And I think, things that you're not usually allergic to, out of a sudden you get hives, you get everything that you take. So I hear you really, really well.
Yes.
On that menopausal thing. And I used to work for a pharmaceutical company. Okay. And yes, we're grateful for all the pharmaceutical companies that work tirelessly to bring life-saving drugs. But those drugs, sometimes they want you to latch on for life. They're just there to keep the symptom not flaring, but they're usually, a lot of time, they don't really treat the problem to the root. So once you sign on a statin drug, and once you sign on a lipid drug, hypertension drug, that is just to maintain the sickness. Yeah, it's not a cure. So you do have a lot of things that it's causing from side effect from all the medication you take, and then and it's producing no problem.
Yeah. Yes. So they have a drug for those. Every side effect that you get,
Yeah.
We have something for that. Wait, here's another one.
And if you are lucky enough to go to a doctor who's a pill pusher, you will can walk out with, half a dozen of drugs that you didn't even know why you're signing up for.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I ended up. I mean, that's, I had no idea. Mm-hmm. And until somebody shared with me, hey, there's you don't have to keep doing this. I didn't know, but
Right.
you're right. That our pharmaceuticals, they work on your symptoms, not your system. And that's where CBD is the opposite. CBD will come in and actually work on your system, repairing your system instead of repairing the symptoms.
So, did you have any doubt before you drop all the med that your doctor recommend and then just try something as so tell us that journey. How did you actually saying that, okay, I'm going to put all my doctor's recommendation aside and listen to this person who does not have an MD behind it and tell me that this would help? So how
I listened to her story. I knew her story. She suffered severely from postpartum. So, and we were friends prior to her getting involved. And I didn't just stop taking her medicine and just pick up CBD and start taking my CBD, consistently and left everything behind as my medicine. What I did is, because I was on such heavy duty meds for 24 years, I knew that if I were to just set everything down, that it would cause major problems,
right.
Withdrawals. And it's not healthy to just quit everything off the bat. So instead of 6 pills 4 times a day, I started introducing CBD into my regimen. So then it was 6 pills 3 times a day, for a couple weeks, 6 pills 2 times a day for a little while.
You
and then
wean it off slowly.
Yes, slowly, because my body probably just would have gone into total shock.
Did you talk to your doctor while doing this? Yeah. Okay.
I absolutely 100% did. Anybody that is on any medicine, I don't care what it is, and they ask about CBD, here's what I recommend. We can talk shop. But at the end of the day, you need to check with your physician first if you're on any medications.
Yeah.
And I also let them know you kind of got to take it with a little bit of a grain of salt, because you got to remember who's funding their pockets. So you weigh your options.
Yeah.
Always.
So how did you see the difference? Like, what make you have such a faith that that it's working toward? You feel more alert. You feel.
Yeah. Yes. 100%. I am able to focus. For me, sleep was a big thing for me. So when you get a good night's sleep, that's when your body's repairing itself. You get a longer, deeper REM sleep. So your body's helping itself repair itself. So you have less problems the next day. Not all of them are gone. I still have problems here and there, but it's just the little things that used to bother me just don't anymore. I definitely don't have the pain. I don't have the nausea that was involved. I don't have any of the major symptoms that I was taking all the meds for. I just don't have them anymore. And that took time. It's not something that went away overnight. I know I didn't get broken overnight, so I'm not going to get fixed overnight. Right. We don't go to the gym and on day 1, January 1st, after my COVID 30 hit, walk in the gym, work out, and walk out of my goal weight. It doesn't happen.
Yeah. No.
So I truly tell people, persistence and consistency and patience, those are the keys.
When we talk about cannabidiol, that CBD, right? Sort of like the first thing is like, are you gonna be addicted to it? Are you gonna feel like woohoo when you take it?
Yeah. So some people get confused about CBD and the marijuana. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. I will give you the simplest explanation I can. And cannabidiol is CBD. That's what CBD stands for. So marijuana and hemp both come from the cannabis plant. You have the mother plant, and cannabis and hemp are kind of like cousins. And it's similar to, if you pick a grape off of a tree and you process it one way, you're going to get wine. If you process it another way, you're going to get grape juice. So hemp CBD is the grape juice side of that, where marijuana is the wine side of that. There are no psychoactive effects.
The one's gonna get you drunk real bad, in trouble.
Yeah, one is you need a medical card for, which I don't even want to get into that whole thing.
Is insurance paying for it?
What's that?
Is insurance like paying for it?
No.
No.
Insurance does not, because it's not recognized by the FDA. It's pretty much a Wild West right now. 80% of it comes from China.
But it's legal. They let they let people sell it, but
It
they
is
don't
legal.
back it. That's
No.
interesting.
They don't back it. We do have 2 products that are FDA registered, and we can make medical claims on the topicals that we have. But yeah, it's with 80% of it coming from China. Hemp is a mop crop, so it sucks all the toxins out of the air, and then they chop it all up and send it to the States. Well, now we have 91% of that being white labeled. Stick a label on it, stick it on the shelf. You can say whatever you want is in that bottle, and nobody can tell you otherwise. It's terrifying.
It is a wild west out there. And I think the government is actually encouraging people to grow it over here, right? I mean,
Yes, they
instead of
absolutely are.
import it in, I think they are encouraging more farming on those.
They are, because it's not only helping our general public, but it's, I mean, the farming industry, the agricultural industry is, I mean, such a huge bolster for our agriculture industry. You know, it's kind of a twofold process.
Where's the process right now? Are they gonna have pharmaceutical look into it? Because if it helped people so much, why wouldn't they do it?
I don't know. I think they don't know enough about it. Hemp has been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. I mean, it goes way, way back. They just discovered in the 70s that human beings have an ECS, which is an endocannabinoid system. Basically, we were born with CBD reserves in our body. So I think I know the FDA is trying to get involved. And I do believe wholeheartedly that once they get involved and start trying to regulate, because it's so insane, it's like our vitamin industry. None of that's regulated, you know, still. So anybody takes,
it's a very lucrative industry in a sense, because there's not a whole lot of regulation out there.
Yeah.
no.
But
The FDA is,
like anything, there's some good vitamin and there's some not so good.
that's right. That's right. You got to educate yourself. And that's what I tell people, whether or not you want to buy anything for me, at the end of the day, that would be great with me. But if you don't, I want to be able to arm you with the knowledge, arm you with the questions to be asking the companies that you're getting products from what you should know before you put it in your body.
So, so tell us a little bit more about how does it help you? Like, what symptom did it get rid of? Are you able to sleep well at night?
I do.
You know, it's like, give our audience what's the benefit.
Okay.
What did it help you?
I get 8 to 10 hours of sleep a night.
Okay.
And even on nights I get, 5 or 6 hours, I still get a longer, deeper REM sleep. So I wake up feeling refreshed. It has worked on the inflammation. I think the inflammation was really the root of my problem for all my chronic pain. The car accident, I have bulging discs that are herniated and compressing the nerves. I feel like they're mending all that. I don't have the pain. I would wake up every day in pain.
Wow.
The premenopause thing, I did have a tumor they discovered in my uterus that ended up, they ended up having to take the whole thing out.
Yeah.
I had a full hysterectomy, which they told me would throw me into full-blown menopause. Interestingly enough, I was terrified of all the symptoms that would be coming down the pike with that. No hot flashes, no more crazy than before,
And it's just that one pills and it's taking care of that problem, and you have to take multiple different things, or?
I take CBD is not a one size fits all. Everybody is different. I was taking a tincture, and a tincture is a fancy word for drops. I was taking my drops in the morning, and which is a broad spectrum, which means there's no THC. That was just the CBD. And I would take that in the morning, and it would help my stress level. It helped my focus. I was not in pain. I could function. I had clarity. And then at night, I would take the full spectrum, which has the 0.3% THC in it. I don't get drug tested, and I don't get high from it, which is even better. Yeah. And it helps me sleep. And that starts the whole process. And we introduced a new nano jelly, which I would love to, expand on that if anybody wanted to hear more. But I did switch to the nano jellies in the morning. It just works better for me. Where my girlfriend, she said she tried 2, they didn't work for her at all. So everybody being
Is there any
uniquely
side
made.
effect? Anything that you have heard of about whatever people take from that?
There are certain statins that will react with the CBD. That's why anybody on a statin, I highly recommend talking to a doctor. I do have friends that are on statins, and she will take her CBD in the morning and her statin medication at night.
Okay.
And from what my girlfriend was also a pharmacist, pharmacy tech. And she was telling me that there are different statins, different types of statins.
Yeah.
So they're not sure which ones interact and which ones don't. We just tell across the board, if you're on statin, ask your doctor.
Yeah.
Be very careful.
Right.
And I tell people the worst side effect with CBD is it doesn't work. That's all I found, which is awesome.
Okay. It did not affect your pattern of anything that.
No.
Well, sometimes if traditional medicine does not work, I think it would be a good alternative. Like people going to acupuncture, people going to trying Eastern medications. I used to take those, I call goat dung. Chinese medicine when I'm exhaust all my Western vet medicine inhaler, and I used to have this horrific cough every spring season because of allergy, and I did all type of thing, and it didn't help, and I was so desperate on my very last straw. I even take my mom's offering of the Chinese, those little black pill like that I call it goat dung. But sometimes when you're desperate enough, you gotta listen to your body and see what works, right? And we're not to promote anything, but I say, just like Nikole say, with everything you put in your body, you got to be able to understand what you're trying, what you're doing.
Yes.
And sometimes, certain things work for certain type of people or bodies, or so.
Yeah, we are uniquely made, which is the best
Right.
part of the whole thing. But yeah, do your research. And
I'm glad that so how long you been on it now, your regimens?
I started taking the CBD this past April was 2 years ago.
Okay.
I stepped outside my comfort zone, and I was determined to share it with the world, and June would be 2 years.
Okay.
So I can tell you, I know people are worried about being addicted and, what happens or having to go get more and more and more as time goes on.
Right.
Addictive personalities concern people. I do know that when we took a trip to Panama, I want to say it was 2019, I was not able to bring my tinctures with me.
Mm-hmm.
That country looks at them, they lump everything into one category of you can't bring that down here.
Yeah.
So I was very grateful. I brought my pharmaceuticals with me because I knew that at that point I would need them for that certain time of, the month. And I was so grateful I had those meds and as soon as I came back in the States, I was like back to the CBD.
So the
not that
tinctures does have some CBD in there, right?
Yes, all of our tinctures have CBD in them. Some of them have THC, some of them don't. We do have that legal limit of 0.3%. Anything more than that, and you're getting into something completely different.
And do you have, I know that certain like cough medication, you have to get, what is it called? It's like behind the pharmacist that you have to have a permission to buy it or something?
Yeah, well, this is not the marijuana-based CBD. You need a medical marijuana card. You need a card.
Right.
CBD.
They monitor it, right?
Yes, they do. They monitor it. I did look into going that option, but it was a lot costlier. I can buy CBD. You can buy CBD only in a dispensary. My concern was I know how well the government runs things and how they love to cut corners. So that was not something I wanted to go to,
Right.
I needed a trusted source.
Yeah. Well, I know our time is short, but I think we so appreciate for this conversation, because sometimes people have cancer, people have terminal illness, that the pain is so unbearable that we just need another option, something just to soothe our body.
Yeah.
And I think this is the first topic that we ever talk on this platform about beyond our traditional medicines. And I want to thank you for that. But there's so many questions, and I'm sure if you are listening and if you want to reach out to Nikole and ask her more questions, I know I will, because I have a lot of things that I need to address. And like I said, as I grow older, new things just keep popping up, which I can't explain. And menopause is a huge word. It changed everything in your body.
It does. And it's not taboo. It's like these, I want to tell you, you know, all the women out there, this is not taboo.
Yeah, and there is a better way that we can live a quality life instead of trugging along and trying to keep it secret and trying to pretend that we're well, because
Yeah. Put the smile on.
I know, yeah. But I would love to, have you, give out information, and maybe if people are listening and you have questions, if you want to talk to Nikole or you want us to bring her back on, we'd love to do it, because there's so much to talk about, and half an hour is not enough to even touch the surface of it.
No. Just want to let them know there is an option. You know, the options are real.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't realize that you have been on the painkiller drug for 20 years. That is too long.
Yeah, and it's causing a lot of side effects. Just like anything, CBD may not be for everyone, or every drug is not for everyone. Like I said, we're putting a disclaimer here. We don't encouraging you to do anything that you don't feel comfortable. No. But there's resources, and that's why we have Nikole here as a resource that you can talk to her. And
I want to clear up the stigma. You know, we're not that, and it's big time.
Exactly. I'm good. I think we are a little bit over time, so we want to thank you so much for sharing your experience, sharing the product you use, and sharing what and how you want to help other people to live a better life, a more a life that you don't have to worry about all the nuisance stuff, the things that are just taking up space. Pain is not somebody anyone wants to deal with. If you have a throbbing pain in your hand all the time, you can't talk, because that's taking away the attention. But there's the things that we can look into.
Right, a better quality of life.
Absolutely. So hang around, but thank you, everyone. We will see you. And this is courage. This conversation here, it's all about courage of not staying in the stigma lane, and tell people that, yes, we might have problem and we might need help. And even the help is feel like, whoa, the traditional word is just like scare people. Are you taking marijuana? It's like, no, taking CBD.
I'm glad that Nikole clarified that. Yes.
Yeah. So, we'll see you tomorrow. And tomorrow, we're going to talk completely something different now. So come on and join us. Every day we have really interesting conversation. And you just don't know from one to the other, because they're all fun. But anyhow, have a great night, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. And thank you so much, Nikole, for being on here with us.
Yeah, thank you.
And if people want to find out where you are and how to contact you, please list your information down there too.
Yeah,
So-
below the